We all know the Great Wall of China. It's just massive, a symbol of pure human will. But what if I told you it has a secret ingredient actually, that let it stand for centuries, and we've only just figured it out?
I mean, think about it. How does something that old survive, well, everything? Invasions, earthquakes, you name it. It's not just because it's big. Nope. The secret is in the glue holding it all together, the mortar. And it's a recipe that's been lost to time, one that made it practically invincible.
We're talking about more than 600 years. For 6 centuries, the most famous parts of the wall have just sat there, watching empires come and go, a silent sentinel carved into the very earth.
And it's not just time. It's survived massive earthquakes. I mean, the kind of shaking that turns cities into dust. And yet, there it is, still standing.
Then there's the slow burn stuff, the constant battering from wind and rain, the kind of erosion that wears down entire mountains over millennia. So, what was it? What was this incredible, almost unbelievable secret that made it so tough?
Well, the answer is a single secret ingredient, and honestly, it completely changes what we thought we knew about ancient engineering. This isn't just some dusty old fact, it's a total game changer in material science. And that secret ingredient is, wait for it, sticky rice. I'm not kidding, sticky rice. The builders back in the Ming Dynasty mixed regular lime mortar with sticky rice soup. Sounds crazy, right? But what they accidentally created was basically the world's first ever composite mortar. A perfect mix of organic and inorganic stuff that created this legendary superglue.
And you wouldn't believe the difference it made. Standard mortar? Brittle. It would crack pretty easily. But this sticky rice concoction? It was flexible, super water resistant, and get this, it actually got stronger as it got older. How wild is that?
Dr. Zhang Bingjian put it perfectly. He said the mortar bound the bricks so tightly that even today, weeds can't grow in many of the cracks. Just imagine that, a bond so strong that after 600 years, not even a tiny plant can find a way in. That's just incredible.
So the big question is, how on earth does rice soup pull this off? How does it create this molecular masterpiece? Okay, let's get into the science of it because it's pretty cool. All right, so here's where the real magic is. Sticky rice has this starch in it called amylopectin. The best way to think of it is like a tiny little construction foreman at the microscopic level. When you mix it with the lime, the amylopectin steps in and basically tells the lime crystals what to do. It stops them from getting too big and brittle. Instead, it forces them into this really dense, compact structure, a perfect interlocking grid that's unbelievably strong.
And the results? Just mind-blowing. The mortar ends up being super water resistant. It acts like a shock absorber for the entire wall, and it creates this ridiculously strong bond with the bricks. This stuff wasn't just glue, it was almost like a living thing, a chemical compound that was constantly evolving and getting harder for hundreds of years. And we actually have solid proof of how powerful this stuff is. See, back in 1604, a huge earthquake, a 7.5 magnitude, ripped through the area. All the buildings made with normal mortar, they just crumbled. But the ones built with the sticky rice mortar, they didn't budge. Talk about the ultimate stress test, right?
But there's a darker side to this story. This seemingly immortal wall was built on an unimaginable amount of human sacrifice. Its incredible strength came at a truly terrible price.
The numbers are just staggering. It's estimated that around 400,000 people died building the wall. A lot of these workers, many of them forced laborers and soldiers, were actually buried right inside the wall itself. That's how it got its horrible nickname, the longest cemetery on Earth.
And you can really see the technological jump right here. The first parts of the wall were just made of packed down dirt, pretty basic. But then the Ming Dynasty came along and changed the whole game. They're the ones who came up with this revolutionary mortar, and they built the legendary, nearly indestructible parts of the wall that we all recognize today.
The cost? Well, it was astronomical. Just one fortification project back in 1576 ate up more than 3/4 of the entire government's annual revenue. Think about that. To pay for it, the emperors took the rice harvests from southern China, and that rice was used for 2 things, making the miracle mortar and feeding the workers. So the people were literally being starved to build a wall out of the food they grew.
So why are we talking about a 1,500-year-old recipe now, in the 21st century? Well, because this ancient tech might just hold the key to our future.
When you look at it, this is really an early example of green construction. They used local, sustainable stuff, rice and lime, to build something that's lasted longer than a lot of our modern concrete and steel. It's a huge lesson in building sustainably.
And this isn't just history, its legacy is totally alive. Today, conservationists are using this exact recipe to fix old buildings. Why? Because modern mortar is actually too strong. It would literally destroy the ancient, softer bricks. So this old-school formula is now the model for developing brand new, eco-friendly building materials for the future.
So it all kind of leaves you with this one big question, doesn't it? As we're all scrambling to invent these super high-tech, futuristic materials, could it be that the real answer to building a stronger, more sustainable future was hiding in plain sight all along, in something as simple and as ancient as a bowl of rice?